to be honest, the only reason I joined Wishpond is because I didn't want to get deported. So it was really, really awkward interview. It's like, okay, why do you want this job? And since you have a really cool business in Mexico, I'm like, yeah, immigration, and I really don't understand how the CEO hired me, but I end up working there. After 2 years, I suddenly become the CEO, and I'm in charge of pretty much everything. He said I'm in charge of. I don't know. Like somehow we actually managed, despite of me being in charge of that. Anyways, going back to grow hacking. That's actually a pretty cool picture. I think that that makes me think what grow hacker is for me is a little bit kind of like annoying and makes you uncomfortable because everyone right now is kind of becoming a grow hacker. I feel it's kind of like the next social media guru, which means that you know how to use Twitter, which is not really hard. So I think it's kind of like the term grow hacking is kind of like losing its value a lot, but we're just sticking with that term for now until we find something better. So what's grow hacking? So I think that's the best definition I've found about grow hacking. Someone who's more concerned about achieving a goal, regardless of what's the proper way of getting to that goal. As long as it's not illegal, then it's fine, right? In order to be a good grow hacker, you need to have 3 different things. Number 1, you need to know how to do basic coding. You're going to have to do a lot of optimization, so basic JavaScript, basic jQuery goes a long way. Even a little bit of SQL to connect to databases and handle data is not a bad idea to have. You need to be creative, so you should be able to design something that doesn't look like Craigslist relatively fast. And finally, you need to be really, really data-driven. At the end of the day, your opinions don't actually matter. What matters is the numbers, right? So if you really like a landing page, if you really like anything that you did but it's converting worst, then just suck it up and move on and try to grow, right? That's the main goal. Like, it's not about your feelings, it's not about ego, it's about growth. So one of the metrics we use for growth hacking at Wishpond is called the R. So it's called the Pirate Metrics for SaaS. R, like people love pirates. So basically what it stands for is acquisition, activation, retention, referral, and revenue. So these are kind of like all of the points that you need to focus your attention on and kind of like try to grow hack each of them. So like, for instance, I'll give you an example of what we actually did for acquisition. You have SEO. How do you appear on the first page of Google? Well, you have to have really, really nice tags, really nice structure, original content, get someone to blog, get people to share. Or, in my case, for Laleo, I actually found a book about diabetes that I think the doctor was dead by now. And we just actually, might or might not photocopy the book and just use the content of the book as a blog to actually start getting like original content up and start getting SEO, right? We actually, legally we didn't do this. We actually, I have to say that we actually bought the rights for the book before we actually do that online. So yeah, at the end of the day, we actually start buying books that people didn't actually write, that people didn't actually care about, like, pretty old books. And then we just start putting it online as blog posts, which, Google really like it. It's original content. It's really, it's a book. Every day you put a full page, and it's like 2,000 words, and then we actually start getting really, really good SEO. So what about retention? If you have a website and you offer a service, what should you do to get retention? Well, like, people would actually say, you have to offer a great service, you need to keep your users engaged, try to provide like something that doesn't have a lot of bugs, or you can offer yearly plans. So, this is a little bit iffy, so you actually have to have a really nice refund policy so people don't forget to cancel, and then, they get really annoying and nasty. Yeah, before we actually have a nice refund policy, it wasn't a lot of fun. Live chats and phone calls usually they were a little uncomfortable. But after you have a really refund policy, really nice refund policy, implementing a yearly price and offering really good discounts on yearly plans and commitment works really, really well. What about referrals? So it's the same thing. Like if you want people to talk about your business to their coworkers and friends and family and whatever, you can always offer a good service and try to keep them happy and stuff like that. Or you can kind of like force them to be brand ambassadors by putting your branding everywhere they actually create landing pages. So this is an example of a free tool that we have. You can actually create free landing pages, and every single landing page has the Powered by Wishpond. And this is another example. I love this example. This actually says every superhero needs a costume. So most of the advertisement and all of the marketing that we do at Laleo is to actually make doctors feel proud that they're doctors. So in this example, what we did is we created a nice timeline image that is, a little bit too branded. So it has like Powered by Laleo and everything. And we designed a perfect fit for Facebook. And then we actually start promoting that timeline to all of our users with ads and stuff. Like we promote it really, really heavy. And then users just start taking the images and putting it as a timeline. So it was actually pretty cool because this guy is actually promoting Laleo for free and actually showing that he's a doctor, and we actually care about doctors. So invest a lot of money and resources on trying or giving them tools and access to get them to become ambassadors. And finally, what about revenue? Before a few months ago, well, probably like a year ago, we drank the MailChimp Kool-Aid of, we're introverts, we don't want to deal with, salespeople, they're annoying, they're loud, they complain a lot. So let's just build an amazing product that is going to sell itself with marketing and content marketing and inbound marketing. Let's just not deal with salespeople. Then little by little, we start realizing that MailChimp became really successful despite not using salespeople, not because not using salespeople make them like successful, right? So we sat and said, okay, we have to suck it up. We need to start talking to salespeople. We need to start dealing with them. And one of the things we actually did was we got a copy of this book called Predictable Revenue. And I don't have time here to explain everything that this book tells you what to do. But basically, we grow hack every single funnel of this predictable revenue strategy. I mean, it sounds really big, and probably it's. I don't think I should have put this slide here, because I don't have enough time to actually tell you what exactly we do on the revenue. But yeah, like sales and growth hacking actually go really nicely together. Probably if you guys want to ask me how I do it on the FAQ, maybe I can tell you more about how we do growth hacking for revenue and sales. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, so do we have any questions? Somebody want to ask him about that slide that he said he shouldn't have put in? Right in the middle here.
Can you tell us more about sales and growth hacking? Yeah. Well, so basically how this actually works is you need to have someone who qualifies the leads, and then you actually need to find leads, and then kind of like a little bit of emailing them. Like some people call it spamming, some people call it just emailing them. So basically you actually find a vertical. Then you actually find all the names of the companies. Then you find a company or someone in Philippines that finds the contact information for them. Then you actually use Gmail or a product similar to Gmail that sends email using Gmail instead of your own SNTP, like PersistiIQ or Yesware are the two companies that you actually use. Then the email has to be really, really it has to provide value rather than, hey, my name is X, I work for a company X, we provide X. You want to get on a call? Most people are like, no, I don't want to get on a call. I don't care about your company. So what you actually have to do is kind of like providing a little bit more value. Is the emails that work really well is like, hey, you are a company X. We work with a company Y that is similar to you, and then they got 300 more results. Would you like to tell me how they actually did it? And most people actually, we have a really nice conversion rate. After that, you actually set a campaign of like around 3 to 5 different emails. If they don't answer, you just drop them and don't email them again. Of course, you actually need to comply with all the spam laws and have unsubscribe buttons and stuff like that. And then finally, when they close, you send them to a sales representative who tries to talk to them. If they don't like it, they just drop it. If they like it, what you actually have to do is, using Wishpond marketing automation, you actually start tracking what they actually do on your website, and you have different metrics to decide whether a lead is hot or not hot. If the lead is hot and reactivates after some time, you send them another email and try to get them on a call. And then after the lead is qualified, you send them to sales, to some annoying salespeople that is going to try to sell them on a really expensive product, and then they close.
One more. Do we have any more questions? Right here.
Did you have any background in SEO? You said you kind of hacked
I was 17, like, no, I was, I just finished high school, like.
So you just kind of tried new things and then something worked?
Yeah, I was trying like everything, right? Like sitemaps and then spamming Google and like, like, yeah, I honestly didn't have an idea, but like you actually start learning like with practice, like, oh, this actually works, and like you start thinking, okay, Google is gonna like a full blog that talks about diabetes books, right? So, yeah.
Any more questions right here?
Can you tell us how you started Lalel?
Okay, so I finished school in Vancouver, and then I went to like a school that had like really, really long summers. So I went back to Mexico for the long summer, and then I actually bought a huge coffee machine, and then I went to the subway, I plugged it into the subway, and I started selling coffee. Yeah, like I wanted to make money, so like nobody's gonna tell me not to put a coffee machine into the subway and sell coffee. So while I was selling coffee, Mexico City is really, really big. And there was an area that it was full of doctors, like, kind of like, in Vancouver, you have like the General Hospital that is full of doctors. So while I was selling coffee, I noticed that they were having a really, really weird accent, like not from Mexico City. So I was like, oh, where are you from? It's like, oh, I come from like some, really, really small, tiny town. And it's like, what are you doing here? Like, I just come here to buy books and make equipment, and then I'll go back to my hometown. It's like, why? That's really dumb. Like, what about people there? Like, what if someone gets sick? They're gonna die. Like, yeah. Like, oh, why don't you buy them online? It's like, there is no way to buy them online. This is like 2007, right? So like, people didn't even have computers back then. So they actually say, oh yeah, we should buy it online. So I actually exit my first, company, which was the coffee. So I sold it. I got like $1,000, and with that money, I actually started buying books. And I tried to sell them online on Mexican eBay, but the fees were really, really expensive. Then after that, I said, okay, I'm gonna have to learn how to do HTML and create my own website. And I kind of like learn how to do HTML, but HTML is really, really shitty if you want to create an e-commerce. Like you cannot do anything. So they would actually have to call me, and then I would coordinate with Mexico to ship the book and like stuff like that. And then like little by little, I started like saving more money, and like started getting a dude that was actually a police officer part-time to create my website. And yeah, we just keep growing, and like right now we're like around 60 people. We have like a team of like 7 developers, and we start getting into more like really cool stuff like artificial intelligence and like scanning books and like it's actually pretty cool. We have an app that if you go to a competitor bookstore, you can scan the book, and then we actually show you the price, and then we ship it for free. So our competitors, like small bookstores, they don't allow fonts on their store now. So no. Anyway, that's kind of like a short version of how I started.
All right, one more question. Anyway?
Putting books on the internet for SEO is a crazy evil genius.
Thank you. Yeah, just make sure you have copyright stuff. Like we did back in 2007, right? Right?
All right, cool.